Hi students, welcome back. So for this video, we are going to continue talking about electric force and static electricity. So yesterday, we have said that electric force is a force between charged objects. It causes objects to attract and repel. We also learned that electric force can form when some objects are rubbed. The electric force only forms when objects are dry, and when the force forms, the objects can attract other light objects. Just like what we did yesterday, we had an experiment using a plastic ruler, small pieces of paper, and dry cloth. We conducted the experiment together and observed the results. Next, let's move on to static electricity. Static electricity is the result of an imbalance between negative and positive charges in an object. Let's have this example. So again, this is an experiment using dry cloth, plastic ruler, small pieces of paper. Let's watch the video. The explanation behind this is the ruler is initially neutral. It has an equal number of positive and negative charges. When you rub the plastic ruler to the dry cloth, it will form an electric force that attracts the small pieces of paper. This electric force is called static electricity. Let's have another example. Combing a dry hair with a plastic comb. Now this is the explanation. When we rub the plastic comb on our dry hair, it gained an electric charge. Once it got electrically charged, it got the ability to exert a force on the pieces of paper and attract them. This charge is called an static electricity. So that's it. Let's move on to the factors that control electric force. First, we have the wetness of objects. It is harder for electric force to form on wet objects. Another one is how long objects are rubbed. Electric force may not form if objects are rubbed for a short time. And we have the types of materials in objects. An electric force does not form in all objects. Mostly, it forms in plastics, glasses, and rubbers. It is difficult to see an electric force in wood and metals. So, the properties of objects can tell us if electric force will form in them or not. Now, let's proceed to our activities. So you can find this on page 80 of your science book. So we have here two questions that we need to answer. First question, what is an electric force? What is an electric force? We said that an electric force is the force between charged objects. It causes objects to attract and repel. Number two, what will happen if we rub a comb with a wet piece of cloth and place it near our hair? So it says here, a wet piece of cloth. We said that it is harder for electric force to form on wet objects. So basically, nothing will happen. Now, to move on, we have to do this experiment. For this one, you are going to watch a video of an experiment. Okay, for you to be able to answer this one, you have to watch this video. Okay, so this is an experiment using a balloon, a dry cloth, and an empty can. What they did was they rubbed a balloon with a dry piece of cloth and placed the rub side near the empty can. What happens was the balloon attracts the empty can, right? So now it's time for us to answer these questions. For number 1, it says here, place an empty can of soft drink on its side. Rub a balloon with a dry piece of cloth and place the rub side near the empty can. I just said that. Now what was the result? What was the result of the experiment? That's right. So the rub balloon attracts the empty can. So you have to draw it here. For number 2, place an empty can of soft drink on its side. Rub a balloon with a wet piece of cloth and place the rub side near the empty can. It says here wet piece of cloth. Wet piece of cloth. So we said a while ago that it is harder for electric force to form on wet objects. So basically nothing will happen. So the rub balloon does not attract the empty can. You have to draw it right here also. You can pause this one to finish your drawing. Now if you're done, let's move on to your homework. For your homework, you can find that on page 79. Draw a mind map, a diagram, or summarize what you have learned. After you're done with your activities and homework, don't forget to take a picture of them and send it to the line group. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day and goodbye.